My name is Dr. Nasurudeen Ahamed from College of Information Technology, United Arab Emirates University, UAE. And my co-author is Dr. Thangavel Murugan from CIT, UAE. And today, on behalf of my co-author, I'm here today. I present my title is Secure Supply Chain Management, Enhancing RFID Integrity through Blockchain and IPFS Integration. The core plot of our proposed idea is the RFIDs is very, very essential in that all industry aspects, in that RFID tag as well as the reader. Though they have very important, there are so many flaws in the RFID. In case if any vulnerabilities happen, so the industry, the function is stopped or it's going make a mess. So how we have to strengthening this RFID through this blockchain technology. So that is our motto. So these are our agenda. The very first introduction, the supply chain, obviously it's a today world, everyone we have to interconnected with the supply chain. For example, if I go to I'm that Amazon, I just order some things, so I get it some many products. So behind this work, it's a chain link from my where I take from that goods. It will take from that producer side and the manufacturer side and the wholesaler side, retailer side, and finally consumer side. Am I right? So it's a very it's a very large business area. So obviously in this business area, they used RFID, so radio frequency identification. It's very, very essential things in the industrial aspects because they have to able to track and manage the manage the shipments. So it's a very, very essential. So that is the thing. So though this one important, so there are vulnerabilities happen. So for example, in this figure, we have to mention few, for example, eavesdropping, relay attacks, DOS attacks, cloning, tampering, some unauthorized access. For cloning in the sense, so for example, if any hackers, they have to create that exactly one. So which means we don't know which one is exact. So finally, it's affect that goods. Maybe for example, I received some counterfeit products. Similarly, the spoofing, for example, in the spoofing, in the sense attacker or duplicate that original one. So it deceives that for deceiving the consumers. Maybe they create some false informations. Some, for example, tampering. For example, if any tags or RFID tags is tampering, it's inaccurate data will receive. We have, and for example, eavesdropping. RFID signals between the tag and readers without authorization to attacker obtain that the sensitive information of that the particular products or that customers. That is the things. And relay attacks, for example, it's allow the illegal activity without any require of that physical access directly to the RFID devices. And the DOS attacks. So DOS attacks is how to they can continuously sending that too many queries. It's affect delays and for the particular inventory management. And so these are the RFID vulnerabilities in that industry side. So what is our goal is, so identify these vulnerabilities and we have to enhance this one through blockchain technology. So for this one, for the strengthening this RFID, we have to get it the beneficial from the both producer side and consumer side. So we have to prevent this that attackers, and we improve the product quality while in the supply chain management. So finally, as a result, we have to recommend this secure RFID verification with the IPFS. IPFS is nothing but is an interplanetary file system storage. It's essentially stored in that that blockchain technology, and we have to check it out that secure hash algorithm whether they have that that any security breaches happens or not. So that is the concept. So the related works. We have to identify I know many, that many publications from the reputable sites. So, but in the few things we have to give one in your sites. So these are the summary works we have to, for example, the very first references, the technology adapted to the IoT and blockchain technology, all are new, this enormous technologies only. The all industries all agree for general food supply chain or non-agri-food supply chain, all the things. So advantage, obviously, with the help of this blockchain and IoT, with the help of this RFID, we can tracking and tracing the system from the start, from the producer to consumer. But the limitation is, obviously, there are traceability issues is there, some RFID tags, security, whether is available or not, in case it's failure, how we can recover. These are the things we have to till facing the challenges. Am I right? So these are the things. For example, if we go to randomly take that, for example, in the 2025 year, they published the reference number 12, they use it in the general supply chain of the industry. The adoption as technology is a blockchain. So obviously, with the help of this one, we have to enhance the performance. But whether that authors they focus on RFID vulnerabilities or not, obviously it's not. So our aim is we have to identify this research gap and how to avoid this one. So for example, in this figure, first a factory to distribution side, generally we have to use this RFID once dispatch this goods. So that time maybe attacker to attack this RFID with their no the, any attacks. For example, we had already discussed cloning, spoofing, whatever. So finally it will make create the mess of that particular business. It's not only spoil that this one reputation name, it's affected the economic side also. So that is the one thing. So our objective is to create a transparent and safe supply chain management to combine this RFID technology with IPFS. IPFS is a decentralized storage and we have to use it in this blockchain technology. So we ensure the tamper resistance and traceability and as well as data integrity. So to use this decentralized storage, we have to decrease the fraud and we have to counterfeit products and illegal data modification. So our proposed system, so we have to provide this RFID tags and readers with a secure identity verification with this blockchain technology. For example, so we have to authentication methods to permit to communicate whether, and we also ensure whether that is spoof or cloning that one. So how we have to happen? So we have to use this IPFS. So IPFS is nothing but a decentralized storage. It's a distributed file system. It's a peer-to-peer. So allow the files to be stored and as well as we have to retrieve. So in this one, so in this equation, so we have to mention verify and whether the spoofing or data tampering or not. So we are the notation we followed as a C is a CID of employee data. CID is nothing but it's a content identifier when we store the data in the particular IPFS and after the retrieval. So that is a CID. CID is a unique data for all and each and every items. So F of C. F of C is a function to fetching the data from the IPFS. So RS is a scanned RFID. RF is the stored RFID from the IPFS. H is the hash technology. Here we use the SHA-256, secure hash algorithm 256, particular the stored RFID. For example, in this equation, we easily mention, for example, if RS not equal to RF, which means that scanned RFID and already stored RFID is not matched, means somebody came and attacked this RFID. As well as the next, in case if this particular SHA-256, I mean, I want to check that hash algorithm, whether that is, that stored RFID is particular is matched that hash means, so somebody is data tampering in case if not matched means. Otherwise, valid identity. So these are the sequence diagrams. So for example, RFID tag or reader verify system IPS blockchain ledger. The very first one, the each and every product we have to place the RFID tag. So or with the help of RFID reader, read that particular tag. So first scan the tags and send the RFID tag. So once we read that one, immediately we have to send that particular RFID scan data to stored in the IPFS. Okay. So if you in future I want to retrieve, you have to retrieve. When you retrieve, so particular hash algorithm, if we match or not, we have to check. So already we stored in the blockchain ledger. So we retrieve that particular hash. So blockchain ledger, we return to the hash. Once in the verify system, we have to verify the hash matches is match, the particular is successful verification. In case it's not matched, the somebody's came and spoofed or tampered the particular RFID tag or reader. So here are the proposed items. So for example, in this proposed illustration, the act as when from the take a raw material to consumer. For example, raw material manufacturer, distributor, wholesaler, retailer, finally reach consumer. The RFID verification system used in this industry side. So that's why we mentioned this arrow: manufacturer, distributor, wholesaler, retailer. So RFID tag, they place in the particular goods. So with the help of RFID reader, they matched. In case successful, they have to, the product is very successful. In case if not match, somebody's tamper. So all the data stored in the IPFS storage. So that is the thing. So in the result, for example, we have to create one data, the employee data, and stored as a JSON file. For example, employee ID, the employee name, employee department, and the particular employee RFID tag also we mentioned. Once we create the JSON file and uploaded in that IPFS storage, so we create here a emp.json file. Once we uploaded, and we have to get it a copy CID. In the right side I get copy CID. So these are the below figure I mentioned the CID of particular employee data. So it's a UA, it's a CID, it's a content identifier. It's a each employee or the things, it's a unique identifier they will create it. Okay, so once we have to copy this CID, and I created one, this file. So in this one, we have to JavaScript file. Why JavaScript file? JavaScript file, obviously it's used in this blockchain technology. It's for the easily functioning. So that's why we use it here. So here, that constant, that CID, I place this CID and particular scan of ID, RFID I placed. So it's checked whether that constant CID and that scanned RFID is a match. It's access granted. The particular employee that's fetched, because we already stored RFID 1234567 of particular employee name is Nasurudeen number, so it's fetched. In this instance, I create some duplicate RFID. For example, the CID is the same as well as I given. I'm not changed. In case if you changed also, it came mismatched. But here, for in this instance, I'm not changed in the CID. I just created some or duplicate RFID. For example, RFID 1234567 but I missed this 45. So I create RFID 12367 So obviously, when it's go to check this hash algorithm, it's duplicate. So access denied because its RFID is mismatch. So with the help of this one, so those who are participate in this network, they will have to get aware it's a duplicate data. So to avoid this duplicate data, we can avoid the counterfeit goods also to reach the consumer. So we avoid that avoid that bad reputation create from that industry side also. We have to create. So these are the things. For example, in this results, we have to create from dummy results from that we already stored in that IPFS stored. So in this one, we have to check. So we received the maximum number of verified tags in the IPFS, and the rest of items they create some clone data and spoof data, the things in one, which were not are found in IPFS. So and we have to come back that comparison table. So obviously, when we have to refer few some reputed journals or conferences, they have utilized this RFID and blockchain technology IPFS and the existing the solutions. For example, reference number 16 to 20, they used it in numerous industries. For example, pledge supply chain and general and agri and food and healthcare supply chain. They use it obviously blockchain platform, and few of them they use it IPFS, and few of them they will not use it IPFS. Instead of IPFS, they may use it in different. And obviously everyone, because RFID is a very essential in the supply chain, they use. But no, none of them talked about the secure RFID, because obviously they used RFID, but they will, in case if they tamper, what will happen, they know nobody talks. So in our proposal we talked that RFID also we use in case if the tamper or spoofed or clone, what will happen. So how we can strengthen this RFID, we have talked in our results. So at last outcome is, once we strengthen this RFID, we have to create some secure supply chain, and we create that ensure that RFID data integrity, as well as then blocks the records of RFID even ensure that cannot be altered, and the responsibility created from that both consumer side as well as producer side. And finally, enhance the transparency and traceability, and identify the tampered and compromise the goods quickly to reach the consumer side. So finally, the conclusion. So RFID is a very primary technology we use it in the supply chain management, from that from farm to fork. Even though RFID has several problems when you use supply chain, spam, tampering, spoofing, or cloning, etc. Our approach is strengthening this RFID technology with the help of this IPFS and blockchain technologies. Once we secure this RFID verification, is to know that we have to match this hash technology, hashing method. So we have to avoid the spoofing and cloning attacks. Finally, we have to create that data authenticity, integrity, and not only protect this counterfeit or duplicate RFID tag, it enhances the confidence and transparency throughout the supply chain, those who are participate in that supply chain. So integrity of this blockchain to IPFS to identify verification, making the supply chain more resilient to avoid that fraud and manipulations. And these are the conclusions we have to bring to you. And in the same idea, in our future work, we plan to integrate it in some private blockchain, for example, Hyperledger Fabric, to verify this RFID tag. And this we very thank to our United Arab Emirates universities to support this grant for this conference. And as well as I thank to my supervisor, Dr. Thangavel Murugan, to guide us. And these are the references we taken from some reputed journals and conferences.